Hey guys, and welcome to Petrol Ped, and welcome to the Glanusk Estate in Wales. Yeah, it's absolutely chucking it down. It has a habit of doing this when I come to Wales. The weather today is foul. I am sure that filming is going to be a bit of a challenge, but I'm here today with INEOS Automotive to finally get my hands on the Grenadier. It's a car that I've featured on the channel a couple of times. I have driven it off camera before, but finally I get to put it through its paces on the road and off-road, and I have a feeling we're going to get it really, really muddy. Now, it's been a couple of years since I first did some content on the channel on the Grenadier. When it first broke cover, I did a couple of videos revealing what the outside was going to look like and then what the interior was going to look like. And since then, I've kept a close watch on Grenadier because it's a vehicle that interests me a great deal. I do love a big, robust 4x4, and as many of you know, I'm currently running a Defender 90 as my Hendy Group long-termer. So I'm coming at this from quite an interesting perspective because this, the Grenadier, was the vehicle that was made to effectively replace the outgoing Defender, because it was seen by Jim Ratcliffe, the owner of INEOS and the mastermind behind this car, as the new Defender was too modern, too full of electronics. It wasn't as utilitarian as the old one, and there was a gap in the market, and that gap in the market was filled by this, the Grenadier. Now, first up, it looks very much like the outgoing Defender, and I can remember watching an interview with one of the designers, and he basically said, look, if you were going to design a hammer from scratch, it would end up looking like a hammer. And this is designed in this way for lots of good reasons. But the other thing about the car that I find interesting is it's quite old school in terms of technology. It's based on a ladder chassis. It's been designed to be fixable. It's got, you know, hardcore mechanical stuff underneath, not a load of electronics. The model range has evolved a lot since the first video I did on it, so I need to kind of get this right. There's quite a lot to remember, so I tell you what, I'm going to get my phone out and read it out. So there are basically, you can have, if you are a tradesperson or a farmer, you can have what's called a utility wagon, which is the fully commercial version of this. And you can get that in 2-seat or 5-seat, and it's got the ability to carry pallets in the back and all the things you need to tick off for it to be a utility vehicle. There is also, though, then a trim level. There's Trial Master and Field Master. Trial Master is basically where this one, it's got the snorkel, it's been fully thrown, all of the 4x4 off-road gimmicks. If you want to go hardcore off-roading, Trial Master is for you. The other trim level is Field Master, and that's a little bit more luxurious: leather interior, air conditioning, all the nice things to cosset you into a lovely, comfy, probably an SUV that isn't going to see a great deal of action off-road. And then you've got the station wagon, and again you can get station wagon in Trial Master and Field Master, and this one here is a station wagon in Trial Master. And then coming to the market very soon is the vehicle behind me. Now then, apologies for it getting very dark. The rain is terrible today, and luckily the guys from INEOS Grenadier parked these two vehicles under the biggest tree ever, which is the only shelter I'm going to get from rain. But I was on a flight this week talking to a good mate of mine who is a farmer, and we were talking about Grenadier because I said I was coming along to the launch. And it was quite interesting what he said. He said, the one I'm waiting for is the pickup. And this is it. This is the Grenadier pickup. Now, they've been delivering the two versions we've talked about already since the beginning of the year, but the Grenadier Quartermaster, that will start delivery soon. And for me, this is the kind of vehicle that if you are in that agricultural or commercial sector, the ability just to chuck stuff in the back. Think of the success of things like Hilux and Amrock and Ranger. It just gives you that ability to, you know, you could put sheep in the back, you can put bales of hay, and I think that will open up Grenadier to a completely new set of potential customers. I think it'll be a really important vehicle for the brand. Now, We are now going to get to drive Grenadier on the road and off-road. I have driven it before. I drove it at the Goodwood Media Day earlier this year. I had a very brief spell driving it off-road. It was very, very impressive, but I didn't film it because I wanted to do a whole film on its own, if you like. So we've got a short road route because I want to put this car through its paces in terms of road manners. My Defender on the road is an exceptionally good car to drive, and I don't think you could ever say that about the old Defender. I love the old Defender, but the one thing I would never really want to do is take it on a long journey. There were terrible things on road, so let's kind of put that to the test. And then the reason we've come to Wales, the reason we're surrounded by Welsh hills, and I would imagine quite a lot of mud considering the weather today, is we've got lots of really edgy off-road that we're going to go and take the vehicle on and see what its capabilities are like. It's worth pointing out, by the way, all of the model range that I've talked about, whether it's commercial or whether it's more sort of softer, lifestyle family car, all of them are exactly the same capabilities when it comes to off-road. So road first, then we'll get it muddy. Okay, so here we are out on the road in the new Grenadier. The rain has stopped for the moment. I have driven one of these very briefly before. So this particular car is both engine choices are 3-litre straight 6 BMW units. This is the petrol 3-litre, and then they both go through the same ZF 8-speed gearbox. And actually, if you're a BMW aficionado, you'll look down and look at the gear lever, and instantly that is a BMW gear lever. The things I like straight away in here is I'm going to use the word utilitarian. I think I might have to have a utilitarian swear box, but you can tell right from the get-go that the interior of this car has been designed to be used by people who are doing a job. So all the switch gear is spaced out so that you can use it with a gloved hand. Everything's got written descriptions of what the buttons do, not just a little symbol or a logo. And I absolutely love the helicopter-inspired roof-mounted set of switchgear, because it just, when you sat in the driver's seat, it really does make you feel like you're in some kind of military aircraft. It's very, very cool. And then view out the front. It is very old Defender-esque in terms of the bonnet shape, the windscreen shape. The other thing you do have to be just wary of is in terms of the steering, it doesn't self-center quite like a lot of road cars that you'd be familiar with. So you just have to make sure you position the steering wheel. But all in all, first impressions are, I like it. So the vehicle we're in is the Fieldmaster spec, so the more road-focused one. Nice leather seats. It feels lovely in here. Interestingly, the car that we were filming next to at the beginning of the video had that really cool roof rack on, but the roof will support up to 150 kilos, but if you put that extra roof rack on, statically you could have up to 450 kilos up there. You could literally, I mean, it'd be brilliant for wild camping. You can have your tent on the roof, and what I love about it is all of the different things that you can spec when you buy one of these. I was talking to the guys this morning over coffee when I arrived, and they said one of the most common things that people spec, you can buy basically a table that connects to the side of the car. So you've got like this picnic table. So if you want to go out into the wilds and do a bit of camping, you can have your picnic table. You can have all kinds of technical things connected to the side of the car. If you put things like light rails or auxiliary winches, that kind of equipment, then again, these panels, you can basically very easily wire in new panels to give new functionality. And I really like that because, one, it gives you a huge amount of flexibility when you spec the car, but also as you live with it and you want to evolve how you use the vehicle, you can do that more and more and more. Just one of the things that does take a bit of getting used to is, as I look straight over the steering wheel, there isn't a speedo visible directly in front of me. That's just off to the left on this main central screen, which I can imagine when we're doing all the off-roading, we'll have a whole bunch of screens on there that show axle articulation and stuff. On-road manners, we're in Wales. It's wet. It's not a sports car, obviously, but it feels very solid and very planted. You have to have quite positive inputs to the steering. It's not a car that you have to be, that you can be lazy about, and it certainly drives way better than the original Defender, but I'm sure, again, we'll probably need a Defender swear box today as well. So utilitarian, that word's banned. Swear box for Defender, that word's banned as well. When you get your head round this car on the road, as I said, you do need to be a little bit busy with the steering wheel. The first initial input doesn't a great deal happen, but then it's okay. And apparently on the motorway, that's not so much of a problem. You get much more of a kind of a straight line cruise. What a beautiful bit of road. Look at the tree colours. But it is a very comfortable, very smooth vehicle. I think for me, the bit that intrigues me about what INEOS have done with the Grenadier is they partner with lots of great companies to deliver the various mechanical parts, the extras that you can bolt on. And what they've created is a framework that they can build on. And I guess we've seen that with the new pickup version, which for me, I think that's, in terms of its target market, the Grenadier, that agricultural commercial target market, that's the kind of vehicle that user base wants. This market, the kind of car I'm sat in now, the luxury end version, if you like, I'm guessing this is shooting parties on an estate. This is someone who wants the comfort for a longer journey, but also wants the ability to go off-road. I mean, it'll tow up to 3.5 tons. So like me, if you're a horse owner, or I used to be a horse owner, and you want to tow, or you want to tow a caravan, brilliant vehicle for doing that. And then if you want to have a play off-road, if you are, and it might just be, you know, stuck in a wet field on a campsite, or it might be you want to go do a bit of green laning, or it might be that you own a farm or an estate and you need to get anywhere with a couple of hay bales in the back. I get the feeling that that's what this car is going to excel at. So the next thing we're going to do is we're heading back to the estate. I'm going to turn right in here and we're going to go and get this car dirty, because that's the bit I'm really looking forward to. On-road manners, not bad, not bad. It was a short drive. I think for me the main thing just to get your head round is the steering feel, but that's something I think that would probably be done quite quickly. Last shout out though, the last thing I want to just point out is the 2 horns. This car has 2 horns. It has the, you know, loud get out my way horn, which is in the middle of the steering wheel, and it has the bike horn, which is just great. That's the, just when you come up and you want to be friendly behind a cyclist, you can go. It's brilliant, and it's even got toot on it, and I think that's brilliant. And I did read a few comments about the fact that people, I don't think people get the almost sense of humor required to understand the toot button, and especially the fact that INEOS Grenadier sponsor the professional cycling teams. There's a big tie-in with the cycling community, and I absolutely love that. Anyway, let's head back down this beautiful estate and go and find some muddy fields and try out some off-roading.
Okay, Peter, lovely. So we're going to select low range, so we'll put the car in neutral.
Yep.
And then it's a lift the collar and pull back, keeping the stick to the right hand side. Good, that's it. Nice,
that's
positive
a good old
pull.
That's bits of metal doing stuff, isn't it?
It is. The best way to describe it is the difference between a synchro box or a dog engagement that needs a good positive tug, but it's obviously a strong, tough, durable unit. Tremec make that, so heavy duty unit, and it feels heavy duty. Cool. We're then going to lock the center diff, so again, lift the collar, come across to me, and that's something that we can do on the move. The other thing we're going to do is engage off-road mode. So this button up here, 2 push action. First one, you get a flash. The second one to confirm that you do want off-road mode. That's now deactivated seatbelt alert, parking sensors, auto stop start is now deactivated, and stability control is now in off-road mode as well. Oh, cool, okay. So yeah, deactivated all the electric bits you don't want.
So if you're a farmer, you can get in and out with your sheep and not have to put your seatbelt on.
That's right, yeah.
It's got to be worth the weight in gold. Right, so we're going to get this car ready?
Yeah, let's do it. Sounds good. So we're going to go
put it in gear first.
Off to the right and to drive. Perfect. Nicely done.
So that's low ratio.
That's it, low ratio. It actually shows the display, so 8-speed ZF gearbox.
Yeah.
Perfect, off to the right. We're currently in 3rd gear. So it'll automatically go through all 8 gears as it needs to. And a nice thing about that is you can keep the car in low range. If you've got a long straight section, you don't have to stop, engage high range. You can keep the car in low, and it'll obviously drive using all 8 gears, but it's there ready for low range when the going gets tough again.
Yeah.
You've got manual control on the gear lever as well, so if you've got a steep descent and you didn't want to use hill descent control for whatever reason, click it into manual mode and you can manually down change as well.
So just saying before we started the cameras that this car doesn't have air suspension and an adjustable ride height like my Defender. It's got proper coiled springs and shock absorbers, so Bilstein dampers, e-back springs. It goes on from what we were saying on the road. They kind of just partner with all the very best people, right? So,
absolutely, yeah.
E-back, Bilstein, Tremec, you know, they're all brands that are known for being the best at what they do.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, BMW engines, ZF gearbox, and Magnus Star produced the chassis as well.
Yeah.
Austrian company, and that's fully galvanized steel as well. It really is a work of art.
Yeah, it's not really having too much of a bother down here.
No.
So the nice thing, so if I was in my Defender, or if you're in one of the more kind of road-oriented nice cars, I'd be going in there having a baby there because you just scratch the side of the car. And there's something about this, you kind of, it almost feels less worrisome when you have something scratching against the side of the car, because you feel like it's doing what it's meant to be doing.
Yeah, that's right, doing the job it was designed and built for. So yeah, this is the sort of thing we're expecting customers to potentially do with the car, is go remote places like this, unmade tracks, and really try the car and put it through its paces and be able to reach places that you just wouldn't otherwise be able to get to.
Yeah. So this looks a bit more meaty.
Yes, that's right. We got a bit more of a climb here. It's very clayey surface as well, so it's exceptionally slippery going up here. But the Grenadier copes with it no problem at all. We can use the ruts. They're almost like train tracks for us. You can see a bit of a river running down the left.
So now this is the Trailmaster, right?
That's right, yes.
So it's on BF Goodrich.
Correct.
80s.
Yes, BF Goodrich all-terrain tyres, steel wheels.
Yeah.
The Trailmaster also comes with locking front and rear diff. Yeah. They all come with the centre diff lock, but locking front and rear axles, Trailmaster, and the raised air intake as well.
Yeah.
The Fieldmaster comes with leather upholstery, alloy wheels, and the safari roof. Yeah. But you can mix and match. So if you fancy leather but locking diffs, you can do that too.
Yeah. See, the big problem I've got with filming this is it never looks that bad on camera.
Yeah.
But there's not many cars that come up here.
No, that's right.
You can look at it. And I've not done a massive amount of off-roading, but I've done enough to know when you'd be in trouble. I mean, just things like that inner trench there on the left-hand side, and just the amount of mud, and then the gradient here. Oh well, okay.
That's right, nice climb up here. And we're still doing this with just the centre diff lock as well. We haven't engaged lock at rear or front yet. And if you've got trouble, of course we could. But you're quite right. You can't go to the showroom and buy, there's not much I can think of that will do this without modification.
Right. Everest,
here we are. We've made it this far. We've got one final challenge for you now, Peter, to climb Everest.
Yes.
As we've nicknamed it anyway.
Yeah. So we're going to put...
So we're already locked centre diff. We're going to lock the rear diff, this one. And being the Trailmaster, we got the locking rear diff, so it's just one push of the button there. Yeah. Lights flashing. As soon as we start to move, the diff will lock. Yeah. And we'll be good to go.
Go.
Good luck.
Now obviously you don't do this on the road, people. You try turning a car around a corner with a locked diff. It's not a good thing at all. Oh yeah, that I'm not sure the steepness of that's going to come out on camera, but it's oh wow, Yeah.
Really good test of ground clearance as well.
It's a brilliant test of ground clearance. Is that the angle, the pitch? 17 degrees?
7-degree pitch, yes. There's big rock here, we can just run that over as well.
Really?
Yeah.
I was going to go over that.
Yeah. It really is a question of pick which line you want.
Wow.
And this is a good test of ground clearance as well.
Up there?
Yes, we can cross this. And of course this is where the diffs are, but it clears it, no problem.
Wow. Wow. Oh. Yeah.
We get
GoPro still on. Yes. Oh wow.
And when we get to the top, we get a fantastic view of the whole valley as well. See the Glanusk Estate.
And the rain stopped. I think for me it's the ground clearance that's impressive. The fact that that's just standard ride height. You're not changing that to go off-road.
That's right, 264 millimeters at its lowest point. I'm just going to unlock the rear diff there. One touch of the button, so something that can be done on the move as well.
That's impressive. The thing is, that's not going to come across on camera at all. It was like that.
There we go.
I mean, that's going to cause trouble for a lot of cars. Just this bit, just the. Wow.
Yeah, and this was just starting to dry out until the rain came just 2 days ago.
Thing is, if you do one of these, any kind of off-road driving, it's always more fun in the mud.
Yeah.
It's always more challenging. You don't, the gradient doesn't have to be as much to be difficult. I know you can go rock crawling and all those types of things, but really impressive.
No, that really separates the difference between the car, doesn't it? Cars, tyres, driver input. All make a huge difference when it's like this.
That's as good a view as you're going to get. Look at that. Wow.
So there is one feature, unfortunately, you didn't get to play with, Peter. It was the wading mode. It will wade through 800 millimeters.
Wow.
There is a button here. With that button push, it deactivates the radiator fan so that it doesn't spray water in the engine bay. But you will get to play with hill descent control now.
Excellent. Which again is one of these features that I still find fascinating, because if you try and brake yourself going down a hill, it's very difficult to do it and not slide the car and so on. But hill descent control,
it does, yeah. It does the job for you. Just one push of this button here, and you can use the cruise control buttons on the left spoke. The lower one that says set minus reduces the speed. Perfect. Lovely.
Oh wow, that is wow. Oh yeah, see, that's like proper slow. That's 3 miles an hour, and I've not putting my feet on the pedals at all.
And that's perfect speed for coming down here. And that will maintain that all the way down, and we get the feel of as the grade increases and it gets rockier, we see what we've climbed up as well. Of course we came up this. I just realised you're bringing us down what we've just come up. That's right.
Which actually, I'm surprised it got up it. I would have thought coming down it is probably a more difficult thing to do in terms of from a car engineering point of view.
Yes.
Just getting that's outrageous. I'm literally no feet on the pedals. The car's just doing that for me. Wow.
Yeah, and it will independently brake wheels as it needs to. So if it detects there's a bit of a slide going on, it will trim it using left or right front brakes as and where needed. Clever stuff.
Yeah. So when you come on these drives and you think, okay, I'm going to do a bit of off-roading, what you've done is set a course that sometimes these courses are a bit tame and they're a bit like, yeah, whatever, that was all right, but not that impressive. This is really impressive. Wow. It's really, really good. Well, as we come down here, I'm going to draw my video to a close, I think.
Okay.
Because the light is failing. The weather's sorted itself out at the end. But guys, I found today fascinating because I followed the Grenadier story from the very beginning. I did those early videos when we just had it in VR, and then we had the first look at the interior, and then I drove it earlier in the year, but only very briefly, and just got a little snapshot of it. I would like to spend a lot more time with the car. I'd certainly like to spend a lot more time with the car on the road. I think it's competent on the road. It's just got little things that take a little bit of getting used to. The steering doesn't self-center. It's just got a feel to it on the road. You just have to not play with the steering, but you just need to be conscious and work the car a little bit. I think in some modern cars, they're so easy, you just hold the steering wheel and that's it, off it goes. This needs a little bit more effort, but it's a far better car on the road than I thought it was going to be, and certainly way better than the original Defender. But let's face it, that's not particularly difficult. But this car off-road is exceptional. Absolutely brilliant. It is, you know, you use the term go anywhere vehicle. It's a go anywhere vehicle, isn't it? Oh,
it really is. Yeah.
That climb, and it won't come across on camera, I know, but honestly, you would struggle to walk up that, let alone drive a vehicle up it. Very, very impressive. I really like the addition of the kind of pickup style crew cab vehicle to the lineup. I think that's going to do really well especially in the agricultural space. I guess a couple of comments I should probably cover off about price, because when it first came out, Grenadier was marketed as, you know, it would start from, you know, mid 40s, and now I think the cheapest one's early 60s. But the world's changed in the couple of years since INEOS first announced this car. Things have got much more expensive to build, so I kind of understand that a little bit. I guess the other big commentary that the guys from INEOS get is originally the plan was to build this car here in Wales, and that didn't happen. It's now built in France. But I always explain this to someone. So you're thinking, okay, I'm going to have to build a car factory in Wales, and then one comes up for sale in France that's ready to go. I mean, it doesn't take much thinking about, does it really?
It doesn't.
Well, I'll build one, or, oh look, I can buy that one, it's ready to go, we can get to market earlier. It was a no-brainer. It was upsetting to many people. A load of people slagged off Jim Ratcliffe and the company, and it was post-Brexit and all that kind of stuff. But honestly, it just made financial sense. What's really interesting is now they're just about to change the factory to double shift so they can make more cars because of demand. In order to buy one, again, I guess the kind of dealership experience, so you would buy one online and configure it through their website, very much like you would do with a lot of vehicles nowadays. Tesla and Lotus have the same model, and then they've got a range of you don't call them dealerships, do you? You call them, what are they called? Retailers.
Yeah.
Around the country, so you can see where your nearest one is on their website, and that they would be the guys that, I guess, you know, do any work on the car if it's needed, servicing, that kind of thing. So it's, you know, it's a young motor car company, and they're still growing in that respect. But as a vehicle, very impressed. Really, really impressed. Yeah, right up my street, this. Right up my street. Anyway, big thanks to the guys from INEOS Automotive for the invite today. It's been a brilliant day, but I'm now going to get in my Defender and drive home. And it's been a really interesting comparison. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed that, give me a thumbs up. Comments below are always welcome. And if you want to subscribe to Petrol Ped for plenty more content to come, we'll go home this way. But I shall see you on the next video. Take care, guys. Drive safe.